This morning I woke up to pounding on the door on my cell. It was Ryan at 6 a.m. He quickly told me that they were trying to transport him to force him to have surgery, to take the bullet out of his arm. He also slipped me a note under the door that said they were taking him to Oregon State University Hospital to have surgery forced on him. The guard would not let him use the phone to call the attorney. He was calm but firm that they do not have consent to take the bullet out of his arm, to have surgery on him. He told the guard that he did not know about any of this, and neither did his legal team. Nothing was on the court docket, no orders were made, nobody knew anything about it. The guard called in a sergeant, Sanders, and he told Ryan that the marshals were ready to transport him. I only briefly heard this. Then Ryan ran upstairs again to tell me that the marshals were here to take him, but they did not have his consent. The sergeant ran up the stairs after him, and then Ryan walked calmly back down the stairs. The sergeant began pushing Ryan violently and slammed him against the wall. Ryan was calm and non-aggressive. He said over and over again, "I am going, I am consenting, I am going." The sergeant then slammed him into the Sally Port door and violently shoved him through it. Ryan was continually saying, "I am going, I am complying, I am going." The sergeant then grabbed him by the body and swung him around and rammed Ryan's head into the metal door jamb. I heard a grunt from Ryan, but he kept saying, "I am going, I am going, I am complying." The sergeant then slammed Ryan to the floor on his face. After a few grunts, he continued to say, "I am going, I am complying, I am going." Shortly after, 3 or 4 men came in the Sallyport and forcefully handcuffed Ryan and drug him out. I could not see Ryan's face where he was slammed into the metal door jamb. Ryan has never refused to go to court before, or anything else for that matter. He was afraid and had every reason to believe that they were going to force him to surgery. Just a few days before, the Department of Justice, I believe it was Department of Justice, had a hearing and was trying to get the courts to force Ryan to surgery. They already forced him to x-ray, and one doctor refused to do the surgery. He was informed that another doctor said he would do it. This bullet is one of the bullets that was shot by the FBI or Oregon State Police when Lavoie was killed. Ryan said he was shot in the arm before Lavoie left the vehicle. Ryan believes that the FBI were going for his head, and when it hit the glass, it deflected to his shoulder. The bullet is one that is unaccounted for and part of the FBI shooting cover-up. He also knows that another shot came through the roof that the FBI did not report, possibly others as well. He also believes that Lavoie was shot at least once when he was still in the truck. The shot and holes in the roof are possibly why the FBI or Oregon State Police will not release Lavoie's truck. The FBI and Department of Justice want to take the bullet by force without anyone present. Ryan told them that if he consents, the bullet will remain in his custody and go through the forensic investigation by a private, neutral party. They did not like his terms. This was just a few days ago. And then this morning, without any warning, the deputies come to take him down to be transported by the U.S. Marshals. No warning, nothing on the court docket. Ryan had every reason to believe that he was forcefully going to surgery. I have not talked with Ryan other than a few quick words this morning. I'm not sure where he is at, but have some reports that say he is in the hole for disciplinary reasons, for resisting being taken. A few of the inmate workers said they heard the guards joking and laughing about it downstairs. These workers saw the whole incident themselves this morning, and then hearing the guards joke and make fun with it this afternoon upset them. I have several affidavits from those that heard and saw what they did to Ryan. All of them say that Ryan was non-aggressive and was calmly trying to help the deputies understand his concern. Even when they used excessive force, Ryan remained calm. It was difficult to see my brother abused. I watched the entire event locked in while I pounded on the door to wake others up to witness. I do not believe that any man, woman, or child should be forced to let another person enter their body without consent, and then to use drugs to sedate the person without consent even makes it more egregious.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
This appears very close to be something that we call rape. When they finally let me out of my cell a few hours later, Deputy Rose would not give me a form to report the incident. Then later a sergeant came in and he told me to use the general request form to report it if I would like. Rose was one of the guards joking and making fun of what was going on downstairs. He also refused my attorney from calling in to get my report and seek help. The phone receipts will prove this. My attorney tried to call through all afternoon to help. They were denied access to me multiple times for several hours. Finally, my attorney decided to get on a plane and to speak to me in person. Need I say, Ryan nor I have been convicted. We are only accused by a lady with an affidavit that has more inaccurate statements in it than my 7-year-old daughter would make. Any just grand jury would have seen through it. But of course we know the grand jury is controlled by the prosecutors. So much for the Fourth Amendment. So much for being innocent until proven guilty. So much for the First, Second, Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, Ninth, and 10th Amendments, the Bill of Rights. In fact, so much for the entire Constitution. Just like Sergeant Jacobs said to me today, I don't know, I don't care, I don't want a history lesson, I don't want to listen to you, we just do with you what the feds tell us to do. So much for federalism, where the county, state, and federal government are for the people and designed to say no to each other when rights of the people are being violated. The people's guards have become the offenders, and the people have no defense. What are we to do? Thank you, Hammond Bundy.
So, as we saw last night, Ryan got to call home. All the phone calls and the barraging of the phone lines had some effect. Our sword may not be large, but at least we got something. And if we can't be boots on the ground every day, what we can do is keep taking action. Everyone should be taking some sort of action every day as long as our prisons are filled with innocent people. Let me repeat that. Everyone in America should be taking some sort of action every day beyond just a Facebook post, as long as our prisons and our injustice system is filled with innocence. Honey, would you turn that fan on low? Now, here's what we're going to do this morning. Ryan's still in solitary, near as we can tell, and that's not acceptable. I don't know if you saw the messages from Angie that we did last night at the Bundy Ranch, or if you saw the message from Ammon that he recorded from jail last night. You definitely need to see that. Head over to the Bundy Ranch or to my page and take a look at that. Very powerful messages as to the state of America, the fact that our Constitution is overturned. And Ryan gave his testimony on seeing what they did to Ryan and watching these goons beat Ryan up. So you know what? It's not enough that he's been able to call home. It's not enough that they're out of solitary even. It's not even enough until they're out of that jail. But let's do one step at a time. I demand that Ryan be released from solitary, that he be allowed to go back to his normal role, and I demand that there be discipline and justice. What happens if we beat up police officers, right? We're locked away in a cage, but they can beat up our family, our patriots, our neighbors whenever they feel like it? I've had enough. I'm going to make some phone calls, and I hope you guys will do the same. And I'm not just going to call the jail. I want to call people. I want to call the offices in this county. Understand, we talked about this yesterday. When you ring these people's phones off the hook, they have to look this in the face. They have to think about it. When you call their superiors and their local politicians, they don't want to hear from you. That's right. And guess who's going to hear from them when you keep calling them? These little SS that they have out there abusing people and bringing in their extortion money. First person I'm going to call is we're going to call the county chair, which is like the county commissioner's chair. We're going to do that live right here. See if we can get anybody. It's just now 9 o'clock, so we'll see who answers and who doesn't.
You reached the office of the Normal County Chair Deputy Floyd. We are unable to answer to the phone at the moment, but you leave your
See, the chair was getting slammed with calls. It doesn't matter if they don't care. It matters. They do care that their phones are ringing off the hook. And understand that. That's important. They do care that people are pestering them. Hey, yeah, I saw what you guys did yesterday down there at the jail. Not cool. Not cool. I demand that Ryan is out of solitary and that the thugs who beat him up, we want their names released. We want there to be action for what those guys did. So I suggest you get on that down there, Mr. Chair. Get on it. Now look, understand, this is very important. People say they don't care, they just hang up. It doesn't matter, guys. Remember the unjust judge who feared not God or man, but when they kept bugging, when they kept pestering him, right, he finally relented just so they'd leave him alone. Some days that's what we have to do, because these guys have the power and the money and the guns and the position and the minds of the slaves. We're a small remnant. We got to stand up and love our neighbor and be just. Let's call the jail. Now, of course, the jail... And by the way, the county chair's office, I just called. You guys can do it too. Get your pens handy here as we go through these. Not 503-988-3308. That's 503-988-3308. Okay? Now you understand. See, I'm not being mean to these people, but I'm being firm. I want the names of these thugs because that's what they are. They're not heroes. They're not law enforcement. They're goons. That's the guys who are in there running these prisons and beating up Ryan. And the other ones that are all standing around doing nothing, you know, maybe they don't support the beating, but they're doing nothing. They're complicit in these crimes. And thank you guys. When I put the numbers out, please repeat them in the chat room because I can't write them right now. Okay, so 503-988-5060. This is the jail. I'm calling them right now. Until Ryan's out, I don't want these phones to stop ringing, folks. It's the least we can do. I'm just going to press 0. I think it'll take me to the operator. Let me turn it on speakerphone so you guys can hear. Let's try this. If they'll even answer, right? Hey, it's G. You're live on the air, and I want Ryan Bundy out of solitary and the goons who beat him up. We want their names. Can you get us that?
I'll transfer you.
I don't want to be transferred to your PIO. See, they transferred me to the PIO, but guess what? Guess what? It still is in their head, guys. It's still in their head. They still have to listen to us. Lock down their phone lines until it's done. So now it goes this PIO guy, right? He's the guy that... Captain Steve Alexander. He's the guy that lies to us and says, oh, I don't know about that. Well, I don't know what happened there.
And you need more immediate assistance, please page me via the immediate pager at 503-271-0226. Otherwise, leave a message after the tone, and I'll return calls when I return to the office. Thank you, and have a good day.
So we'll leave a message for him, too.
When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Listen, Ryan Bundy, out of solitary, and the names of the thugs who beat him up. We want them released. Pretty simple message. Okay, who's next? County Sheriff. This thug who lets all these people be housed in his county. Let's understand something, folks. These aren't good cops, okay? These sheriffs are accountable for what happens. It's not only their people abusing. These sheriffs all over the country are the ones allowing people to be locked in these prisons, to be abused and hurt and killed. Yeah, I think that was the pager, but I think that pager just goes into nowhere, but hey, why not?
You have reached the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office Hanson building located at 122.
Now there's another tactic. This really makes them angry.
Portland, Oregon. Our office is currently closed. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30, excluding holidays.
Look at that. The sheriff, they've been getting so many calls, they just closed their office. It's 9 o'clock. It's after business hours, but they're closed, right? They're closed. How convenient. How about we do this? Here's a tactic that works really well. We're going to do this in real time, folks. Okay, so let's go to the Multnomah County, and this is how you do this. And remember, never threaten or anything like that. Assume you're being recorded. Be principled, but be firm. We and Michelle talked about this yesterday. And don't just make me do this. You guys should be on the phone, too. Let's look for dispatch. Dispatch is like the people that answer 24 hours a day, right? They're the radio operators, usually it's the same building that answers 911 calls, but it's a non-emergency number. So I'll usually search for dispatch or non-emergency. Now, in a county this big, how easy is that to find? Who knows? But somewhere there's a dispatch number in Multnomah County. And oftentimes they do call them the non-emergency number. So let's see what happens if I call what they call the non-emergency number. 1-503-988-4300. Okay, I'm calling the non-emergency number. Now, don't call 911. I mean, first of all, that's illegal, I think, according to their laws, and it's not a great idea. Great.
If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
If you know the 5-digit extension of the person you are calling, press 1. If you know the selection you wish to reach,
Yeah, see, we'll try 0. But a good dispatch line is where the dispatch people actually are. Somebody actually answers the phone. It's the same people that answer the phone for that are doing radio.
Sheriff's office, may I help you?
Hey, yeah, you're live right now, and we want Ryan Bundy out of solitary, and I want the names of the sheriff goons who beat him up down at the jail. What do you got on that?
I'm the telephone operator in the Sheriff's Administrative Area. If you'd like to leave a message for the Public Information Officer...
Oh, no, we don't... No. We're not calling to talk to a liar, ma'am. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to the normal, everyday people down there. And,
I'm not anybody who says anything other than, how can I help you? And I'll transfer you to the call... to the phone that
I understand. And I don't want to be mean to you, but you're in the sheriff's office. You're accountable for what happens to people too. And so you got people being abused under your watch.
Transfer people the best that I can as quickly as possible.
I know.
To the place where they can get help. It's not me
Okay.
to say anything other than that. If you don't want me to transfer you somewhere, I'm going to tell you goodbye and hang up the telephone.
Well, I can keep calling back. That's fine, but I understand. Look, everybody's accountable for their words, ma'am. That's why this call's live on the air right now. So
my words are, I'm going to say goodbye now and hang up the telephone.
Okay, we'll keep calling back though. Okay. Okay, there you go, guys. So that was. And look, the lady, right, she doesn't want to be bugged. She's not mean. She's not being a bully. But you know what? This idea of I'm just doing my job, it's not my fault if somebody's being abused, wrong. It is your fault. You work there. Okay, so let's call the nice lady. And that was non-emergency. Non-emergency. This is not 911, just for the trolls out there. 503-988. 4300. Do not underestimate the power of this. When you get hundreds of people across the nation doing this, I want you guys sharing this. We can do this all day long. Let's try it a different way. Let's call the Portland police, right? See, everybody makes an excuse. I have a new answer for them. I didn't call the wrong agency, okay? I called the exact agency I wanted to. I want them all to know that they are all accountable, folks. They are all accountable. We have to love our neighbor. So not only are we accountable when we see somebody being abused to do something, but when you actually work for the agency that's abusing your fellow man, come on. Come on, I love you guys. I don't want you to be the abusers. I don't want to have to call like this. Thanks, babe. Not acceptable. Now, I would call back, but you guys are probably already ringing her phones off the hook, so I'll let you do that for me so we can get different voices. Sometimes I'll call back 4 or 5 times when they hang up because I'm like, I don't know if anybody else is calling. But the more different voices, you want them to feel in their mind that my peers are telling me I'm wrong. My peers are telling me I'm supporting evil, because it's a basic tactic in marketing. Actually, you're showing them it's not okay, right? Just like in marketing, they show you it's okay to do something and it's being done by others. That's like the number 1 rule of marketing. We're basically marketing the idea that what they're doing is wrong. So we're saying it's not okay to do what you're doing. It's not okay that these people are being abused. Now I'm looking for some other numbers here. And dispatch, I still haven't found. I mean, maybe that's the closest we're going to get to a dispatch in Portland. I don't need a paycheck bad enough to take people's lives that are innocent, to ruin their families. That's not worth a paycheck. You know what? I'd rather go forage in a dumpster. I would rather forage in a dumpster than take a paycheck for hurting families. Did you see those Bundy ladies last night? Did you see all these women sitting around the living room without their husbands? Their grandkids playing all over the place without their dads and their grandpa? Absolutely appalling that we're tolerating this, America. That could be your wives and kids. And come on. It's time for America to grow a pair and quit tolerating these perverse sheriffs and these perverse judges. These judges, they make ISIS look like child's play as they abuse people every single day and destroy their lives and steal them away from their families. They're stealing my kids and your kids away from their families. All right, let me see what else I got for numbers. Everybody, look,